All right. We are live. Yeah, 5 seconds in. Good morning. I am the marketing and media specialist at Driven Catalyst, and we are going to start live streaming in the mornings. Why? Because why not? Also, in part, I think this is probably an epidemic. Ooh, okay, we're live. Hey, good morning. I am the Driven Catalyst media and marketing specialist, and we're going to start going live in the mornings. Why? I think a better question is why not? I'm hoping my audio levels are doing okay. I kind of don't have a way to check at this given moment. Um, so this may be a rusty first stream, but oh well. And I have to believe that there is an epidemic of marketing personnel at companies where basically like it's them, the marketing personnel, and then the rest of the company is very much from a different discipline than them. And software engineering is not totally unlike content creation and marketing. But it is, I don't know, there's a lot less math that I have to do. So, um, generally, what I'm working on is very different from what my peers are working on. So, it can get a little lonely, a little slow. And I feel like going live is going to be such a fun remedy for that. So, you all get to reap the benefits of my loneliness, I guess. So let's work through a morning, day in the life, if you will. Um, I think I'm gonna start making Instagram content that feels like a fun thing to do for the first live stream. So I generally keep a document of ideas, uh, and I guess we'll start working through them. I think probably the most compelling right now is doing infographic style Instagram posts, but within the universe of the podcast we have. Um, which is probably a good segue. Let's talk through what Driven Catalyst is. After I have some coffee. Actually, let's put a pin in what Driven Catalyst is, and I'll tell you my coffee order because I after years and years and years, I've been probably drinking coffee since kindergarten. I've finally gotten the most perfect coffee order, and it's because I went to Canada this spring and had coffee from a place called Second Cup, not sponsored. And they have what's called a mocha oat flash cold brew, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's oat milk with mocha and cold brew. And believe it or not, it kind of you have to work your way through the generic uh coffee shops that are everywhere, like Dunkin', Starbucks. You kind of have to really like find your place. And I finally have found my footing in how to formulate a coffee order. So that's what I'm drinking. I'm having some mocha and oat milk with my cold brew. And I'm already feeling the cold brew. This is a very caffeinated Tuesday morning. Okay, we'll take the pin out of the content creation now. I guess I'll do my job. I think I want to do infographic style posts, but within the universe of our podcast, which I think I already said that. But so for example, within Eagle 9 Locked, there are the Yort Rebels. Listen, and you'll find out more. But I think it's so funny. I think it would be fun to make like what to do in case of the Yort Rebels attack or something like that. Trying to come up with like creative ideas. We've kind of already made our way through doing like quote posts, putting together really good looking merch thumbnails. So our Instagram is kind of dry right now, which is never ideal. So I'm going to work on that, I guess. But before I do that, I actually should probably post our drafted TikToks for today. We don't use a CMS that I don't actually know if there are CMSs that let you schedule TikToks. I did some digging way back when. Oh, we have comments. That's fun. Oh, fun. Okay. We don't have a CMS, and I don't know if there is a CMS that lets you schedule TikToks. There probably is, but we don't use it. So I manually post it. So generally I'll create like a backlog of drafts and then upload them. So today's is we're doing this fun little sequence of, hey, like what if the marketing girl pitched app ideas to the software engineers? And so that's what today's is like the first one of that. Okay. Funny, silly, we're having a great time. Let me make sure the thumbnail is good. I don't know who can relate to this, and I like to hope that everyone can, but I hate picking TikTok thumbnails. I feel like there's never a good frame that I want to just be on the feed. But let's see. And then let me okay. Another thing about this one I'm posting right now is I'm worried about the audio mixing on it. Because I do some talking, but then I threw in some elevator music just to have a TikTok audio in the background, and also it's like a 45-second long TikTok, which is way too long. Uh, I'm joking. But okay, hold on. I just had to fully, like, zone out to make sure this got posted. I'm worried the audio mixing isn't good because I added in the elevator music, and something I've noticed actually with TikTok levels is that, whenever you set so you add original you have the original audio and then you add the audio to it, for whatever reason, I don't ever feel like you can really, uh you can't really get specific or really, like, set, with much specificity what audio levels you want. So that's kind of a bummer sometimes. Okay, so at this point, we're almost at 10 minutes in. And we'll start making some content. I have Adobe Illustrator open. I generally use Illustrator. Canva is great, and then Adobe has they're basically their version of Canva, which I think is called Adobe Express. And I was doing some of our quote posts for Eagle 9 Locked in Adobe Express. I really like the generic, like the stock assets that you can add to graphics in it. But generally, like I like to start from scratch with Illustrator. It just feels like home to me. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to web. I kind of never do the mobile presets. So I kind of will just click web or mobile if I'm doing something digitally. So I have the RGB color mode set, and then I'll like kind of just go in and go like say 1200 by 1200. Girl, I don't know. That's kind of what I do. And then so now we have a canvas. Y'all can't see it because we're not screen sharing, but that's what's going on. And then one thing about the Instagram infographics, which I kind of want to be delicate about this because for sure, I think like Instagram infographics are worth satirizing or kind of poking fun at. But also it is a really good and valuable way to disseminate information. Like obviously as a digital media person, I recognize that the social platforms are the primary way that a lot of generations are getting their news and information right now. So I don't want to make light of that, but I do think it's fun to poke fun at. And I do think I think it'll be fun. You know, I think it's like a good fun in universe thing to like work on visually. I don't know. But let's see. Instagram infographics. So I'm gonna like look up example stuff. That's generally what I do is I'll look up inspiration, kind of get the ball rolling. Cause otherwise, like you can really burn yourself out. Obviously, when you find inspiration though, it has to be you have to be moderately inspired. You don't want to rip anything off. I'm kind of not finding anything I'm wanting from Google Images though. So let me pull up my phone. Beep, 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 beep. Instagram. I don't know. What do I search? Infographic. No, I could probably type in a topic and find an infographic on it. I'm really interested to see this back because I'm afraid of what the audio is like. Let's see. Oh, this one's really cute. This one is just like an artist post though. Like they made like a real life infographic for print. So it's not really what I'm looking for. I'm kind of looking for something a little sillier to use as an example. Because they all have really fun, like, you know, your blah, blah, blah if, or 10 ways to know if blah, blah, blah. You know, kind of that verbiage. I kind of want to see some good examples of that to kind of riff off of. The power of infographics. Okay. It is dangerous to go to social media to look for inspiration sometimes, though. Because if you're easily distracted, like, oh, all of a sudden I'm thinking about Dancing with the Stars premiering tonight. Is that tonight? I think it is. I will be tuning in. This is such a good cast they have. As for me, I will personally be rooting for Ilona Maher, my Olympic rugby champion, queen of my heart. But of course, we have Miss Bachelorette Jin Tran. We have Pommel Horse Guy. And his dancer, his professional dancer that he's teamed up with, Riley. She's been making such fun content on Instagram. Honestly, the whole cast has been making such fun stuff. So I think this is going to be such a fun season. I generally don't tune in to Dancing with the Stars. I did a little bit in college. I was a DJ, and in the radio station studio, they would have like the local news stations on silently. And so it was JoJo Siwa's season at the time. And it would be like on TV during my radio shift. So I would like every so often be able to glance up and catch dances and stuff. So that's kind of my only familiarity with Dancing with the Stars, apart from like watching it growing up. But I don't know. They rolled out a top-notch season this year. Like I think the cast is so fun right now. Okay. Well, I'm actually going to lock in and focus on this content, but thank you for tuning in. And actually, I'm going to be so real. No one has tuned in. So if you're watching this from the future because we are uploading it, hey, how's it been? Who wins Dancing with the Stars? I don't know. Okay. Have a good day. Okay.